Okay, so I think we are totally honoured this evening to have this gentleman with us. Alun Maxwell is, in my humble opinion, the king of neighbour lettering. Thank you very much from the back. Okay, Mr. Humble here was like, oh no, you can't say that about me. So, in our humble opinion, lots and lots of respect. I think that this evening, so for people that are new to this business, this is not the only way of doing the business. This is one way you can do the business. And I think it's important that we know that there are lots of ways that match with your personality, but neighbour lettering is definitely one that does yield very well. So I think, without further ado, if I can have a round of applause and Alun to the front.
Hey, y'all. Thank you very much. Thank you, Nick. Thank you. Hello, Cambridge. Hello. Yeah. Probably quite a sophisticated crowd here tonight, Ross. I'm not sure I'll be able to get away with that stuff I said in Kent. I won't say any of that, no. Yeah, good to see you all. Okay, neighbour letters, the king thing, I have to laugh at that because there are people that absolutely spank my results. But I probably spend more time coaching people on this topic than anyone else. So if that makes me a king, fair enough, but not for any other reason. Some of you are in for a bit of a treat now because I've got a get out clause. For any of you who's thinking, I'm not doing neighbour letters. I don't care what he says. I'm not going to do them. You don't have to. You do realise that, don't you? You could just not do them. Yeah? And do you know what? You could not do utility warehouse as well. You don't have to do anything, do you? You could just let life drift and do nothing you don't feel like. So you've always got that to fall back on.
Alan, what do you get if you do nothing?
I beg your pardon?
What do you get if you do nothing?
If you do nothing, nothing. Oh. Yeah. Because this is Cambridge, I wanted to go Denver Lloyd, or was it Cambridge Lloyd? Right, you start off at 10. Okay, here we go. Now, is it right? Neighbour letters, yes, those. I wanted an impactful first slide, and I think I achieved that. It's funny, of all the different ways we can prospect in UW, there's probably nothing that makes people more nervous than the idea of this. And I'd have to say, having tried just about everything, starting neighbour letters probably is going to take more raw courage than anything else. Okay? Anyone who says differently probably hasn't done them. But there are a lot of rewards for facing that down and coming out the other end. For example, there might be someone in your team who comes to all the events, they're very supportive of others, and they keep trying, but they just don't quite break through. They never qualify for anything. They're just in the background. What if those open that person up and they suddenly started scoring and qualifying for things? How do you think I know that? I'll let you work that one out. For 4 years, we qualified for jack, nothing. We're just bumping along in the bottom. And then I tried these. Okay, it's not all that I do, but I am quite fond of them for what they've done for me. Neighbour letters, the benefits, part 1. There's 10 of these, is that all right? Local, yeah, that's a benefit, isn't it? Local, it all helps. You're not driving, 200 miles to go and do it. Activity, on tap, this is important. You want to go and do something, make something happen, you can, all right? You don't have to book a stand anywhere. You don't have to join a networking group. You just go out, drop some letters, and the following day you follow them up. You're not beholden to anyone. You do that because you wanted to, and you can create something from nothing. No reliance on any other people. Yeah, no costs, such as 20k stand, time slots, materials. Cheap is the word I'm looking for. It's cheap, okay? In fact, it's cheap as cheap chips because they look pretty crap. Yeah, it's cheap. And as a business owner, the cost of acquiring customers ought to matter to you. Would you agree? Yeah. This is a really cheap way of acquiring customers. And not just customers. I'll come on to that. But if you think neighbour letters is just about customer gathering, you're wrong. Oh yeah, benefit. I said there are 2 pages, not 10. Right, other benefits. Homeowner demographic targeting. What do I mean by that? Just fancy doing that. No particular reason. I'm just going to come over here. Demographic targeting. It is true. Would you agree that if we gather homeowners, there's certain extra benefits to us than gathering tenants? Okay, let's call it what it is. Okay? Nothing against tenants, by the way. The reason they do it that way is tenants are far more likely to move. And the next person who comes in doesn't know UW. And statistically, they're way more likely to switch away. All right? So just accept homeowners, we get more. Streetcheck.co.uk is a really useful site. My tenant percentage is 15% because of that site. It's virtually never more than that. You just go to the site, you put in the postcode of any house on the street you're thinking about, then you click on something that says housing. You'll have to work this out for yourself. I'm not going to put it on a slide. And then you get a pie chart that should be mainly blue, not green. It's the second pie chart down, called tenure. You're looking for a road that is mainly blue rather than green, and then most of your knocks will be homeowners, and you will make more money. Let's call it what it is. Streetcheck.co.uk, bank that, yes. Cambridge Lloyd, bank that one. Local and home, yeah, the referrals tend to be local as well. And the referrals tend to be of a similar, dare I say, demographic. So it all kind of helps. Massive increase in self-esteem. Do you know what? That's one of the biggest reasons for doing it, because most people wouldn't go near it because it's scary. But when you've done it and you come back, you look at yourself in the mirror, you really like that person looking back at you. You say, you did it, man. Yeah, other people didn't have what it took, but you did it. And it's good to feel that way about yourself. And nothing will make you feel as good as persisting with that whilst you're scared of it. And if you do, the prize will be you'll stop being scared of it and you'll enjoy it and get even more results if you pay the price. Duplicate your skills to your team, not your fears. What do I mean by that? Some people that join, all they hear about neighbour letters from their upline is, oh, they're a bit scary, and then they talk about something else. They're a bit scary and you don't have to do them. It's not a very good selling point for trying them, is it? You don't have to do them and they're scary. And that's all some people hear about them. So don't duplicate your fears to your team. Duplicate your skills. Try it. Try to get a bit better at it. Learn some skills and pass that down, because someone in your team might completely open up using this technique, okay? Now, the next one you might going to be thinking, why is that a benefit? Loads of no's. Do you know what the real subject for tonight isn't? Yeah, it's neighbour letters, but the big wrapper around it is coping with the word no. Because for some of you, that word no is stealing from you and is going to keep stealing from you. And I don't know anything which gets hold of that fear of the word no and kills it better than neighbour letters. That will deal with it if you've got the guts to stay in there long enough. Because let's face it, if you're only getting one no every 3 months, how good do you think you're going to get at hearing the word no? You're only hearing one every 3 months. What about once every 3 minutes? Think you might upskill yourself a bit more? Too right. Builds resilience and total imperviousness to the word no. We're loving that. Here we go. ENRPQ. I'm glad we covered that. Next bit. Okay. Oh, hang on a minute. No, that is the journey that a lot of people take that doesn't end up with them being successful. Do you realise a lot of people join and give up? Do you know that? So you're going to find out eventually. A lot of people just join and give up. That's the journey they take. And I reckon neighbour letters is a very good way of pattern interrupting that. So what do they stand for? E, you've just shown someone the business and they joined. So what are they feeling?
Enthusiastic.
Yeah. Someone said ecstatic before. I thought, what are you showing them? You might want to clear that with head office. No, excitement, that's what they're feeling, not ecstasy. Excitement. Yeah. And they, yeah, I know, I know, this is going to be great. I've got 3 friends who absolutely be up for this. Oh, yeah. Nail on certainty. Oh, yeah, yeah. So they go out, and what do they encounter? Begins with N. Well, it's a short word. It begins with N, ends with O. Any idea? Cambridge Lloyd? No. Sorry, 5 points. Too early. 5 points. 5 points off. Yeah, no, they hit no. And for some people, that's the end of their journey. Do you know that? That is the end. Someone they know says no to them, all gone. That's none of you in this room. I know that for a fact. But yeah, no. So they hear the word no. So what are they feeling at that point when someone that they thought was going to be their winner says no to them? What are they thinking? What are they feeling? Rejection. Ouch. Rejection. And then if they're feeling rejection, do you think they're going to be feeling pleasure or the other one? Pain. They're feeling pain. Now, if you're in pain, what's the easiest thing to do to make the pain go away? Quit. Do you know what? That journey isn't necessarily months or weeks or days. Sometimes it can be hours. That's their journey. They feel pain. No, make pain go away. No, nothing's worth this. No, not having it. No. And they've gone. So think about there's 5 components, and we've got to stop. We've got to use neighbour letters. I'm going to come on to that. Use neighbour letters. How do we break this pattern? There's 4 links. Which of those links can we break? That's a rhetorical question because I don't really want your answers. I'm going to give you mine. Okay, so I just wanted you to feel included for a moment. Between E and N, excitement to no. I know we could prevent them ever hearing the word no. That would solve it. How doable is that? Do you know what? I'm going to challenge that. You've got people in your team right now who've perfected that. All you've got to do is talk to nobody, do nothing. In fact, a lot of your team are beta testing this at the moment, and the results are very compelling. All right? Of course. But if they're actually going to try and do something, they're going to encounter no. We can't break it there. Let's go to the other end. Can we break it between them feeling pain and quitting? Well, maybe we could, but maybe that's too late. Maybe that's going to take a lot of work. Just someone who, well, no one's interested. You know, no one comes in. People keep no showing me. And you just think, I need to find someone else to work with. Have you ever had that thought? I mean, you've got to, be their friend, but maybe your future growth is not coming from that person. Sorry to break it to you, but maybe that isn't going to happen. So that only leaves 2 places we can break it, yeah? What about between rejection and pain? I want to go over here again. It's all right. I liked it the last time. I make fun of liking rejection. Not totally true. If you really feel rejection, it does hurt. It does, yeah? For me, the place you break this is between no and rejection. It's not that I like the feeling of rejection. It's just that the word no bounces off me. So I like being in the space thinking that other people would be rejected at this point, but I'm not. I thought that no was funny. So for me, neighbour letters is the best way to completely inoculate yourself from the impact of the word no. That's the biggest reason for doing it. I mean, all the money from sign-ups and that helps. But I think it's just great to, in your whole life, not just UW, just to not feel that way about the word no. Don't let the word no be a tyrant in your life. No. There you go. ENRPQ. Remember where you heard it first? No, we do. Okay. Because you got in for lots of lovely things. Are you really going to take that journey of quitting just because you couldn't cope with the word no? You travel, the car if you want it, alcohol if you want it, you can have that. Travel, goodies, and that we took that. We're in Uganda on mission, weren't we, Roz? Yeah. 2016, we did mission work in Uganda. Whatever's important to you, are you really going to say goodbye to that because of the word no? Come on. Just have a quick look at our growth. You see on the right there, 2022, 2023. Do you think the 2024, do you think it's going to go down again? No. It's going to be even higher than 2023 than that was over 2022. You don't want to be a part of that because someone said no. Are you quite sure? No, just get it in perspective. Now, why the hell am I showing you a puppet from the 1960s? And you're entitled to ask that, because at the moment I haven't really backed up why I've done that. But when... That's Sue, the panda from the Sooty Show, okay? But you all... Well, not all of you knew that, but some of the more, let's say... No, you didn't know that, did you, Harry? No. You probably don't remember Matthew Corbett, let alone Harry Corbett. But anyway, sometimes when people on my neighbourhood letter group, they say, well, I put my letters out yesterday, and tomorrow I've got to knock on the doors, and I'm really out of my comfort zone, Mr. Corbett, because that's how she used to speak. She talked like that. Oh, everything was a problem for Sue. Oh, we're going to be late, Mr. Corbett. And they just remind me of Sue the panda. I think that Harry Corbett, this is after he did Steptoe, yeah? Or was that the same Harry Corbett? No. You want to play with your xylophone? You zutzy old there. No, it was a different one, you're right. But yeah, don't be like Sue the panda. This thing about the comfort zone, let me stop here for a minute, because it's one of my pet hates, that whole thing about comfort zone. People say, well, I'm going to be knocking doors, I'm out of my comfort zone. I feel like saying, no shit, Sherlock, that's the whole point of doing it. It is uncomfortable, that's the reason to do it. Everything you ever achieved in your life, you felt uncomfortable about it, but you pushed through. You were out of your comfort zone when you achieved anything. And I tell you what, your comfort zone in your life, that's where your biggest regrets can be found. I hate calling it the comfort zone. Why think about leaving one zone? Why not? I'm entering my victory zone, my destiny zone, not leaving my comfort zone, Mr. Corbett. No, the comfort zone for me is like a sort of, like a claustrophobic nanny that doesn't want you ever to grow up and go out. No, don't go out there, dear. It's really dangerous out there. Stay with me and we'll play happy families. No, or a friend. Everyone's got a claustrophobic friend from school and you think, why is that person still in my life? I know I knew him a long time, but what do I actually get from still knowing this person? They don't like you having new friends. They hate it when you talk about new friends. You were my friend. Anyone got someone like that? Ditch them. That's what the comfort zone is. Okay? I warned you it might be a bit random. Okay, has everyone had enough of Sue the Panda? I haven't got Sooty and Sweep up there, I'm afraid. So. Okay, you see that? That's the biggest reason most of you that don't knock doors. It's because in your mind, it looks like that. So of course you're not going to knock on the door. If you think, oh, that's going to be scary, you're not going to knock on the door. And if you think the front doors look like that, you're definitely not going to knock on the door. And as for the occupants, well, forget it. You're just not going to do it, are you? I've got to say those last three photographs are not realistic. Except the last one does actually remind me of someone whose door I knocked. She became a customer, actually. Yeah. So no wonder we feel like that. Because if in our head, knocking doors is that scary, we are going to feel like that. Well, guess what? To get good at this, you're going to have to knock doors initially when you are feeling like that. That's the price. I don't care how many books you read on it, how much audio you listen to, or how many times you talk to people about doing it, how many letters you print off and stack up neatly in your room. Doesn't count. Until you're out there facing it, whilst feeling like that initially, you ain't going to break through. So just accept that as the price. It's not fatal. So what is it we're frightened of? Well, very often it can be encapsulated by those two words, failure and rejection. Who here likes failure and rejection? Cambridge Lloyd. No. No. Failure and rejection. We don't like that. We don't like that. So, we like to move away from that. Human beings are programmed to move away from pain. Yeah? All the marketers know that. Think all those TV commercials that start off with someone in pain, and then there's the product, and there's that person happy. They know that people are bought into moving away from pain. We're no different. Failure injection. Well, how about doing neighbour letters with no failure and no rejection? Would anyone be up for that? Yeah? Well, I'm afraid that's all we've got time for. No, right, no failure and no rejection. So how do we do that then? All right. Let me ask you a question first, and this is one when you can, you can contribute. What do you think my success ratio is when I knock doors? Which of those three? 15. Any advance of 15? 5. That's not an advance of 15. 5. Okay. Who else? There's only one more to shout out, really, isn't there? Let's not do it. Let's just leave that one unsaid. Okay. 15%. No. The answer is actually 100%. Do you believe that? Well, you see, that you're assuming that my objective when I go out knocking doors is to get appointments. It's not. It's not. Because if your objective is to get appointments, if you internalise it as appointment or failure, you're going to have a hell of a lot more failure. And frankly, you're going to give up because that's not enough success to keep you in the game. So my objective is never to get appointments. I do get them, but that's not the objective. No. My objective when I go out is to categorise houses. That's what I do. I categorise houses. There's no emotion in it at all. And let me say this, neighbourhood letters is not a selling exercise. It's not a convincing exercise. It's 100% a sorting exercise. And I would say to you that UW is as well, frankly. I always think of neighbour letters as like UW in microcosm. Just everything happens more quickly. Get more no's more quickly. But it's the same thing. It's a sorting exercise. So what's this 1, 2, 3, 4 stuff? Some of you might know that. If you're on my Facebook group, you'll know that I say that a lot. But if you're not, I've made allowances and I'm going to cover it now. Okay. So what's 1 mean? Well, 1 is to return when you decide. So what could be the reason for writing 1? Well, no answer is quite a common outcome. No answer. They're not in. Now, you see, if you're processing success as appointment or failure, you're counting people not being in as a failure. Well, that's nonsense, isn't it? How can you possibly convert someone who's not in the house? Okay? Nick, you probably know some people that could do that, get in the house. I bet in your time, yeah. But you know a few people. Yes. Cambridge Percival. Yeah. No answer. Bill Payer not at home. So yeah, a teenager, a bleary-eyed teenager in their pyjamas. Yeah, what? No, they're not in. No. Once a little kid of about 10 opened the door. And I was looking like that, and the door opens. Oh, hello. I said, yeah, I've dropped this for your parents. Are they in? And he goes, what's it concerning? What's it concerning? I felt like saying it's concerning that clip around the ear. I haven't had a clip around the ear, not yet, you haven't. But I didn't say that. No one clips people around the ear anymore. But anyway, building work in progress. If it's like a building site, forget it. Just 1 means to go back at a time of your choosing in the future. By the way, when I record results 1, 2, 3, or 4, I'm recording what is next going to happen to that house. It is not what happens to me. So I used to write, no, definitely no, or, I'd write their responses. And it was just like a page full of rejection. I had lots of no's on it. And I'd say, I've got this really good opportunity. There's a page there that's got no. What do you think they're going to say? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Take all the emotion out of it. It's purely sorting. So that's number 1, which is the biggest category. Number 2, not going back. That's where you get an unequivocal no. They say no. And it's not like a no for now, because in the warm market, you might meet them again. So it can be a no for now. But if it's on the doorstep, that's not a no for now. If you turn up there again, you will get an escalated no. Okay? What they're saying is, I'm not going to buy from a stranger that I don't know on the doorstep trying to sell me something. Because that's what they see in you. Leave them. Focus on the gettable, not the forgettable. So unequivocal no. Other reasons not want to revisit. Yeah, the smell of weed wafting out the place when the door opens. I think I'm not going back there. White goods in the garden. There's all sorts of reasons I might not go back. But you see, it's up to me. You see, I'm rejecting them. To be honest with you, I do all the rejecting. Sticker on door. If there's a sticker on the door, don't knock. You can still get them, but probably as a referral from one of their neighbours. Don't knock on sticker doors. It's not good for the brand. Am I going too fast? Am I going too slowly? Good, okay. That sounds about right then. Okay. Contact later. Built rapport and found out occupation. Why is it important, if you can, to find out their occupation? This is where you come in. I tell you, because of uwstories.co.uk. If you've had a chat to them on the doorstep, it includes asking about their occupation, then you've got a tool that you can send them, a UW Stories clip, just of that, which is going to really help you. You know, that's going to be their next exposure. So yeah, build rapport. Ask them about the cost of living thing. Don't think about what script to use. Have conversations, not scripts with people. People don't want to talk to a script. Show interest in people. Don't worry about the ones who don't look like they're going to be, worth anything and they're dissing you. There's very few rude people, by the way, very few. But you'll get an idea pretty soon. If the door's slowly closing as they're talking, that's usually not a good sign. There's only their nose left that you can see. It's kind of gone by then, you know what I mean? And then if it's one of these, a number 3, put it in My Planner or whatever other customer relation manager you use. But record it. Because throwing those away is like going to a 20K and throwing away all the forms of people that didn't give you an appointment. You wouldn't do that, would you? Having paid for your slot. Just because you didn't pay for this, don't chuck those away. Is this helping at all, by the way? Is that yes? Yes, Mr. Corbett. You didn't sound like that then. Appointment book. I built rapport, found out occupation. Yeah, face-to-face or virtual appointment. Diarise, put in My Planner. Yeah, and in the diary, of course. And that 1, 2, 3, 4 means I don't experience failure. Because every house is 1, 2, 3, or 4. So where have I failed? I haven't. I love this because I actually thought of this script and I'm so proud of it because it really works. Getting their mobile number. Listen, I'm around here quite often. Would you prefer a courtesy call next time rather than have me just turn up unannounced? And then they do sound like Sue. They go, oh, yes, could you? Could you, Mr. Corbett? And when they say yes to that, you don't then ask for their number. You just need to have just your clipboard, hold the pen over, just say 07. 07? And they'll feel so stupid not giving you a number, having said they want a courtesy call. So they just give you, they can't help themselves. I tell you, you could go to people in the street and say 07 and their number will just spill out of their mouth. Try it. Alison, 07? No, not really. Some people don't know. She's rumbled that. Okay? But people in the street who don't know, that's how you get their numbers. Okay? And that having their number is really important. And eventually, you can end up feeling like that. But you will never feel like that just from reading about it, watching audio, coming to things like this, good as it's been. You've got to go and face the music. Yeah? Whilst you're like that. Because it's only doing that you can become that. How are we doing? We're doing all right. Okay. We haven't covered rejection yet, have we? We've done failure. Let's do rejection. Let's do rejection. Firstly, I never get rejected on the doorstep. Never. Do you know what? When I'm coming up to a door, this one I'm sort of thinking, is it going to be Hansel or Gretel that answers, to be honest with you? But actually out there are not many doors like that. Not many, okay? All I'm thinking about is, does this person qualify? Will this person qualify? That's all I'm thinking about. So when the door opens, I'm just thinking, is this someone who's going to qualify or someone that isn't going to qualify? I'm the one who does the rejecting. No one rejects me. Does this person qualify? And when the door opens, first thing you've got to do is be the first one to speak. Lock in with eye contact, and you speak as soon as you've got that. Because if you're there not speaking, all they see is stranger trying to sell me something that I don't want. And you've got to pattern interrupt. You've got to get right in there so they stop thinking that. So as soon as the door opens, yeah, hi, I'm Alan. I live in Gessens Road. Well, you don't have to sort of make your voice like that, but I live in Gessens Road. Obviously, say your own road. Or I live in Welwyn Garden City, whatever.
Do we have to say Alan as well?
I know, yeah, they're pedantic. Yeah, you're right. Alan, no, say Steve. Steve! And then I'm not going to list a script, because I think I say something different every time I'm at the door, but I'll always say where I live. And I always ask, well, did you receive... And I normally use the Ben Fogle one simply because I find them easier to push through the door. Let me tell you something. It doesn't matter a damn what you post. No one cares. They don't read it. They don't skim it with a view to reading it later. They glance at it with a view to skimming it later, if you're lucky. All right? So it doesn't matter. Give a Domino's pizza thing. It doesn't matter. The only point of the letter is to make our knock compliant, because it's a cold call if we haven't put anything through. Okay, so put it through at least 24 hours before, and then you're compliant. Make a note of what you posted, because next time you might want to post a different one if you go back in a few months or whatever. And how often you go back is up to you. There's no law about that. If you want a script, Deborah Glover wrote a really good script which Nikki Triggs used very successfully, and that is on the group. The group I'm talking about is Neighbourhood Letter Mastermind Group, which is on Facebook. 9,000 people on that now. You saw good, eh? Of course, a lot of them have disappeared, I'm sure. Never look at it, but never mind. And Nikki Triggs made 23 grand from neighbour letters in 6 months using that script. Now I think, oh, where's that script? Where's that script? Look, it isn't just about the script. You could say the exact same words that she said and get no results. Why? Because it's played in here. Because let me tell you, when that door opens, there's 3 things that they will assess immediately. 1, how you feel about door knocking. They'll immediately they're not very bright, these people. It's incredible what they pick up. But they pick that up straight away. How you feel about door knocking, how you feel about UW, and how you feel about you, the big one. All of those have got to be in alignment. Otherwise, it doesn't matter what script you say. They can smell prey, and you've got to be the predator. Think like a predator, or you'll feel like prey. I invented that one as well. I did good, eh? It's funny, you put inverted commas around it, you think someone clever wrote it, but actually I have thought of that. Think like a predator, or you'll feel like prey. Rejection. No rejection? Yeah, how come? It's a fair question. How come? That's what I do. Anyone who says no to me, I say, can I take you off the list? Oh, that's right. Can I take you off the list? Done. That might be the only time they smiled in a month. So you've done them a favour. They can feel what it's like. You know, the face won't break. You know, it's all right. It doesn't crack. Can I take you off the list? And then you don't get any collateral rejection from that call. If you just say, oh, can I take you off the list? They smile in, well, their version of smiling. And say, yeah, and you cross them off. And you've rejected them. You've rejected them. And sometimes when I don't like the look of someone for whatever reason, I'll say, this is really only for people who are actively looking at making their build. I do that because I've decided I've rejected them. Because it makes me feel strong. And if you don't feel strong doing this, you'll find it hard work. Keep doing things which make you feel powerful. And you being the rejector rather than the rejectee is a good start. Can I take you off my list? You're rejector, not rejectee. In fact, sometimes, very often, I've rejected someone before they say a word. Just the way they looked at me. Yeah, that's right. We've got to be careful. The way they looked at me and they're off the list. I'm serious. Yeah, I'm rejecting people all the time. I just go out to reject people. Because I can. They don't know they're being rejected. I haven't ruined their life. But I don't want them ruining my life either. So that's the way I do it, okay? You'll believe in the process. He's probably on at the moment, or in 10 minutes. You'll believe in the process. And that's me. I go out like Ross calls him Sugar Alan. I go out like Sugar Alan. I say, you're fired. You won't believe in the process. And that's what I'm mentally saying to people. And it makes me chuckle. So I'm walking away from Hansel and Gretel, thinking, what a couple of time wasters. And I've mentally ditched them, and I'm ready for the next knock. I've got no, that was a bit horrid what they said. Because you're going to carry that into the next knock. Do you see what I'm saying? And if they open the door and see someone who looks like they get insulted a lot, how much respect are they going to have for you? They want to be the next one to do it. He will be starting soon, so quickly. Oh, some boring questions. Yeah. Which letter or flyer covered that? Doesn't matter. One that you think's a good one. One that you think is a good one that makes you feel as confident as possible following it up, all right? Envelopes or not, that's too dull really to comment on at all. I would say not, because they're expensive and they make it a longer process. Why would you? I think I did once 500 with envelopes. There was no difference. So why would you bother? What script to use? Well, so that script I've mentioned is on the Facebook group, but you ask some of the biggest hitters, they'll all tell you a different script. Because it's not about the script. It's about the expectational level. Like people like Dan Crooks and John Zink, who are fantastically better at this than I am. Okay, great guys, and they were doing a lot of door knocking before they saw UW in the jobs they were in. But when the door opens to them, they carry all that belief and expectation in their voice and their manner. That's what people pick up on, and you can't fluke that. You earn that by doing the activity. Sorry, that was just me having a nap. Sorry. Now, why is that? Why is that there? Oh yeah, it's going from that to that. Otherwise, you'll end up staying there. Okay. Don't be one of those people. Forget this idea of a perfect configuration. Sometimes people say, what's the perfect letter? What's the perfect script? Perfect time to knock? Perfect this, perfect that, perfect that. And you know what? It doesn't matter a damn. Okay? These are coming from how can I be really successful at door knocking without ever getting rejected? That's why people ask that stuff. Forget that. How can I go out without hearing the word no? Forget that. You want to hear as many no's as possible. That's the whole point of doing letters. So forget this trying to find out a way of avoiding no. You can't. Just go out and get more no's. More. Yeah. Stop trying to avoid it. Seek it out as often as possible. Fun and camaraderie. Oh, and more benefits. Oh, yeah, there's my group, Neighbourhood Letter. I'm quite proud of that group, I must admit. Neighbourhood Letter Mastermind group in Facebook. There's some video training, good video pieces on there. Coliseum Challenge, hardly anyone does that now, but it is there if anyone wants to keep themselves accountable. You can log your scores and monitor yourself. And we are hopefully a supportive community. We're like après-ski for door knockers. That's what we're like. Right, this is one of my recorded sheets. Okay, see how long ago it was. The leaflet I used was LEDs. LEDs, eh? Those were the days, eh? I actually counted all the knocks I did in 2018. It was 3,325. It's the number I did in 2018. There's a guy who did that in 1 month last year. A guy called Mohammed Suleiman Chowdhury. 1 month, did 3,000 knocks, got 200 appointments, 42 customers, and 22 partners in 1 month. That's why I have to laugh when people put King of Neighbour Letters when they're introducing me. But anyway... Say again? Bless you. So this is just, there you go. Look, the 2 and 1, this is people, that was a no, not in, no. Migraine brunette, I hope that's cleared up. Bless her. I can't remember if I ever called her back. Number 1, there's an appointment there for 213 does not exist. Yeah. 1112, so that's a pretty nondescript form, isn't it? I didn't take that back to Roz and say, I got an STL and mini owner today. I didn't tell her that. But that is what I had got, because that's who that is. She is an STL today and a mini owner. From that nondescript bit of knocking that was full of 2s and 1s. Okay? The wonderful Anne-Marie Conway, who is wonderful. What do you think that stands for, that little tick? Just do it. Yeah, don't overthink it. Just do it. Collect as many no's as you can. You'll love yourself for it. Oh, we've done that already. Oh, yeah, the 4 personality colours, Tom Schreiter, really good book to read. Neighbour Letter Masterclass on the portal. Go for No, Richard Venton, Andrea Waltz, really good book. And on that bombshell, I'm going to thank you. And we've got time for 1 question, 2 questions?
Hundreds of questions.
Is that right? Yeah, well, yeah, okay. Well, if anyone wants to ask a question, they can. Just don't make it too dull.
So what's the best script to use?
Yeah. How many times do you fold the paper before you put it in the envelope?
What's the best spatula to use?
Cambridge Lloyd. Spatula. No, I never use a spatula. I just could. I know a lot of people do, but I thought, do I really want to be walking down the street with a spatula? I thought, did Alexander the Great ever hold a spatula? And I thought, no, I just don't feel powerful holding that thing. I'd rather get bitten by a dog than be seen holding this. Yeah, exactly.
When you said that you reject people before they reject you,
Yeah.
you don't like the look of them.
Yeah.
Is that? And you've obviously knocked the door and they've opened it, and you've gone. What do you say?
You do that face again, Josh, when you see him.
Yeah, yeah. They look like that. They look like that. What do I say?
You just go, oh no, sorry.
No, I thought you were someone else. No, I say, yeah, my name's Alan. I live in Guestons Road. I popped this through the other day. Did you receive it? And if there's some.
When you want to reject them.
Oh yes.
You don't like the look of them. You said.
Then I'll say, yeah. To be honest, this is only really for people that are actively looking to make their bills lower. I mean, if you're happy with what you're paying, this won't be for you. Because I want to leave that house. They might have a dog that's bigger than them. Things like that. I just don't want anything to do with that.
But if they say no, I do. Come in.
And that doesn't happen very often. Having said that, people like David Joyce and Dan Crooks, they can sometimes get in the house and sign people up. I don't know how to do that, and I don't really want to. So I don't know if that answers your question, really.
Yeah, I just wondered what insults you might throw to people.
I'm always very nice. I never insult people. I never insult people, but stuff I think or how I might record them on there, like number 2, I might put. I don't want about that. Anyway, who else got one? Very quickly. Over here. It gives me a chance to come here again. Great.
Hello, I wonder.
Erica.
How far do you go from home? Obviously, you say where you live.
Yeah.
But do you go to the next towns? Perhaps?
Yes, I do.
And what do you say there?
Well, I say the road I live on. I never heard of it. No, I just say that. No. I just say the town I'm from.
Right. Okay.
Because I try and say it in a friendly voice so they stop thinking I'm a threat.
Yeah.
But when you immediately ask and then a question, I popped one of these in the other day. Do you remember seeing it? The great thing about questions is they then got to use their brain to think of an answer. They've forgotten feeling scared of you because they don't know you. Okay? But yeah, David Joyce, who I've mentioned before. David Joyce now is another person who is really the king of neighbour letters. He must have done nearly 100,000 and he qualifies for everything. He was the one guy that really made me start doing it. Now, David Joyce, he lives in Hull. And some of you might know in Hull, we have a real problem with broadband because Kingston Communications have a monopoly in that part of the country. So he can't do any broadband there. So he drives 25 miles from his house before he can start knocking doors.
Yeah.
And he does very well.
Right.
So the answer is, yeah, go where there's houses. They don't really care that you're not their next door.
It's interrupting their thoughts.
Yes.
It's doing that.
Totally that, with questions.
Yeah.
Exactly. Are we through? I think I'm home and hosed.
There are a couple, yeah. We'll go to Paul, go for it.
Paul.
Do you pursue an immediate appointment, or do you always look to make a follow-up?
No, I want to book an appointment with them there and then. And I'm glad you said that, because the one tip I haven't given you on this is that I don't take my diary. I take a grid of all the days and the appointment slots I've got, and I fill in some invented ones. They don't know, do they? So, because then there's like a scarcity thing. And I've even had them take the clipboard off me and say, oh, right, what's left? They even say, well, what's left? And they're not that many. And then they pick one. So, I do that.
So you look for something in the future, not here and now?
No, I say some people do want the here and now, but I suppose because I've got a plan I'm going to do all these knocks, I don't particularly want to go in their house and not knock all those others, someone that might waste my time. So no, I just decided not to. I'd rather book it. I'm not saying that's the right thing to do. I say Dan Crooks, David Joyce, John Zink, and have all gone in their houses and booked people.
Unless they've got a big dog and white goods in the front garden.
Yeah, yeah. No white goods in the front garden. Was there one more? Yes.
What do you say to the people that say, oh, I'm all right, thank you. I'm well acquainted with all the switching sites. So I've had a few.
I'll normally say, oh, great, you'll love this then. And then I just go into the laminates that we use at 20K. That works really well. Oh, you'll really love this then. Because sometimes the first thing they say, they're just trying to put you off, something so they can stop the conversation. But if you can say something that might tweak their interest, and when you mention everything on one bill, UK call centre, and they've got cheapest energy in the UK, it might tweak something. So don't be put off by that. The first thing they come out with isn't really an objection, it's just like a little, I don't know what to call it, a spasm. John?
Do you tend to go for face-to-face or remotes?
Yeah, good question. There's no hard and fast rule. I mostly remotes myself, but there's other people who like. Funnily enough, that guy I told you about who did that monstrous amount of activity, most of his appointments were face-to-face. So, people all give you different answers. What works for you?
Yeah. You give me options anyway, do you?
Yeah, it's actually a really good way to do an either-or. Would you prefer to do this over a cuppa, or should we get together over 2 laptops? So that either way, it's an appointment. So it's a very good way of doing what they call the alternative close, John. Yeah? I think I've exhausted
You
about it.
exhausted
Yeah.
yourself. Can I just get a massive round of applause, please?